Thanks again, Mike.
Have a good weekend, Mr. McLean.
Thanks. Cheers.
Ed?
Welcome home, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong.
Nigel rang again about the barbecue.
Good. Thanks.
So, old man's not coming?
Well, I asked him. Same as last anniversary, I guess. Have you told him about you and the medical board?
I'll tell him tomorrow. Have you told him about your little scrape with the Law Society?
Only what he needs to know. Anyway, I've got something more important to tell him.
Have a nice day, sir.
You too, Mrs. Armstrong. Good morning, Bronwyn.
Morning, Mr. McLean.
Let's go, Duncan.
Sir, your car's ready?
You're late. If it happens again, you can look for another job.
Did you write this?
Yes, I did.
Don't they teach grammar at school anymore? Yes?
It's Barry on the line for you.
Hi, Barry. Listen, I'm running a bit late.
It's important. I've been deregistered.
What? What the hell did you do?
I had an affair with a patient.
Mr. McLean, your car's ready.
Listen, I've got to go. I'll talk to you later. Please do it again. Let's get out of here.
Leon. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was delayed.
You can't be serious. I'll never sell that.
We'll see.
So, how do you rate your present prospects?
At this stage of your career, you should think about putting on an apprentice.
I don't think any additional personnel are required.
Yes, but transferring a business over to one's sons can be very tricky. Squabbles, sibling rivalry, perhaps their wives don't get on. An outsider could provide some useful stability.
Is it just me or is it a bit humid?
I suppose it's a little bit hot. Mr. McLean.
I've just got to sit down for
Mr.
for a
McLean.
sec.
You're quite the comic. The question is, do we put you on a plane tonight to leave the country, never to return? Or do we kill you now?
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. Get an ambulance. What about him?
Let him go.
What? Do it. Get him out of here.
Are you all right? Mr. McLean. Call an ambulance! Oh, Mr. McLean. What can I do?
We love you, Mum.
Happy birthday, darling.
Yeah? The old man. The old man's collapsed.
What?
Hey, Margie.
Hi, Nige. Now, don't forget, we have a barbecue on Saturday night and I'll need you here all day. And I've just joined the bridge club, so I won't be in on Wednesday night.
Margaret.
And you'll be pleased to hear that I've finally made a decision. I'm not going back to my usual hairdresser.
Margaret, I've got something to tell you. I've resigned from the firm. I've enrolled in a 3-year course at Theological College.
I've missed your sense of humour. You're serious? Is this some sort of guilt trip because of your stupidity?
Not at all. I only went into the law because of the old man. I need to achieve something with my life.
You have already. You married me, you've got 2 beautiful daughters, and you're a lawyer.
I'm now an ex-lawyer.
Well, the man I married was a lawyer. But aren't you supposed to be single to enter the church?
There are special dispensations for mature age students. We'll be okay. God will provide.
God helps those who help themselves.
Nigel.
$12 months suspension.
12 months. Well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you always said you only became a doctor because your father pressured you into it.
Well, is it small matter that I don't have a job? And we do have children to support?
Don't look at me. Look in the employment ads.
Yes. Maybe I could become a waiter, or a bus driver, or a garbage collector.
I don't care if you have to dig ditches. You still have your wits and your health, don't you? And guess what? I can work too, you know.
Yes? Is he all right? I'll be right there. Dad's collapsed. He's on his way to the hospital.
Oh, go.
What's the latest? I only just arrived myself, mate. Come on.
Tell us where Bernard Muller is.
Excuse me, David?
Oh, Barry.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So, how's Dad?
He's in medical imaging at the moment, getting a lung scan. Apparently at 11 o'clock this morning, he coughed up blood and collapsed.
Well, he's stable at the moment.
Oh, yes, he's alert and talking. I'll have to do a bronchoscopy to get a final diagnosis, possibly tomorrow. But he's comfortable at the moment, and that's the main thing.
Wish they'd bloody hurry up.
Well, you got some pressing business to attend to?
Matter of fact, I do, yeah.
Let's get changed.
Why should I contribute towards your building appeal?
The Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 19, verse 24. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven.
So the bigger the cheque I write, the better my chances of going to heaven.
I think what Matthew was trying to say... Excuse me. Hello, Nigel. Can I call you back? Right, bye. I'm sorry about that.
So he's 76, no allergies.
Correct. I'll be with you gentlemen shortly.
Dave?
The bronchoscope is straightforward. I've taken several biopsies.
So, what is your guess?
It could be lung cancer. We won't have the results until Friday. Your father's stable. He's in the recovery ward now.
So what's wrong with him?
I'm not certain at this stage. I've taken several tissue biopsies. We won't know until Friday.
Friday?
It takes 48 hours to process a biopsy. I'm afraid you'll have to be patient.
Your housekeeper asked me to give you this. Your wife and sons?
My 70th birthday photo. My late wife and my 3 sons.
What do sons do?
Barry's a doctor. Nigel's a lawyer. And, Rod... Ah, Rod! Sister was just asking. What do you do for a living?
Fight the good fight against the forces of darkness.
You got that?
How's the patient?
He's stable. Although having perhaps too many visitors too soon.
Won't be long.
I'll come back later.
So, what are you up to these days?
Oh, still play with the band. I give the odd speech.
One day you might
Might
get
a real job.
I do get tired of these wealthy widows and selfish millionaires who can't afford $10 for the church fund, and yet happily blow money on their own whims and indulgences. They never ask what sort of salary I'm on or when I last had a pay rise. Not that I'm complaining, you understand.
You're getting an awful lot of correspondence? Or is it strictly business?
Most of this junk is from my poor relatives. They're begging letters. It's one of the downsides of having amassed shitloads of money.
I wouldn't know. I don't have that problem.
If I was broke, do you think any of these people would be writing to me?
You could always give it away to charity.
I didn't make it just to give it away.
You could always pretend to give it away. You do have another visitor, Father Joyce.
Oh, shit, don't tell me I'm that crook.
Language, please. He's the hospital chaplain.
All right, send him in.
May I come in?
Hello, Father. If I'm dying of anything in this place, it's boredom. Have you come to save my soul?
No, I'm hoping you might be able to help me, actually.
Uh-huh.
As well as being the hospital chaplain, I'm the priest at St Luke's. Sadly, St Luke's has fallen into a state of disrepair. The roof particularly needs some work.
You're not after my soul, you're after a donation.
Yeah, that would be much appreciated.
And what do I get in return?
Your name would be on the plaque as a donor, and if you so wished, we could arrange to have your funeral at St Luke's.
No, thanks. I don't believe in charity.
So you're just going to accumulate more money until you die?
Yeah. That is the master plan. I enjoy it. It makes me happy.
Well, if you should change your mind.
Father, come here. If you really want a donation, why not go across the hall? Speak to Bernard Muller.
Bernard Muller? The drug dealer?
I'm sure that he's even in greater need of salvation than I am. Just for my information, did Sister Morton tell you I was loaded?
No, your son Nigel suggested I talk to you.
Nigel?
Yes, we've had many great discussions of late.
What about?
Well, I'm afraid those conversations were private.
Mr. Muller, the hospital chaplain is here. Would you care to see him?
Send him in.
It's probably not exactly the right time, but I've come to ask you a favour. For Scott, your grandson.
I know who Scott is.
Scott's studying at the conservatorium. He plays the double bass.
I know that too.
His teachers say that he's got a major career ahead of him as a classical double bassist.
Is there any money in it?
They say that he's very talented. But a talented musician needs a decent double bass. Can you help us get him one?
What sort of money are we talking about?
$20,000?
Can't you and Rod do that?
Well, my wage is modest and Rod only works intermittently.
I know.
If you could just hear him play, you'd know how good he is.
All right, I'll hear him, but no promises.
Thank you. Scott doesn't know that I've asked you, nor Rod. Can we keep it that way, please?
Mum's the word.
Now, the agreement is that I'll make a donation to your building fund and I'll have a funeral service at All Saints.
That's right. St Luke's will be out of action for quite a while yet.
Anthony has a cheque for you. Well, go on, take a look.
That's very generous of you. Thank you very much. Now, if I could speak to Mr. Muller in private, please.
What, do you want to hear my confession?
Yes, I do. This is not some sort of commercial deal.
Oh dear, I thought it was. Father, I've been a naughty boy for a long time.
Well, we'd better get started then. Mrs. Muller, gentlemen, if you'll excuse us.
Sister, this hospital, it's only half full. How can they expect to make a profit?
It's not designed to make a profit.
Obviously not. God, if I was running this place, there'd be a few changes made.
No doubt.
Naughty boy. I will tell Sister Morton what you have done.
No, anything but Sister Morton.
Oh, very well. But my silence comes at a price.
What?
1 cigarette. Thank you.
You lit?
Mm-hmm. Most people know my business, but what line of business are you in, may I ask?
Pharmaceuticals. Legal drugs.
Ah! Actually, I still have 1 or 2 legitimate businesses.
That wouldn't include selling musical instruments by any chance.
What are you after?
My grandson is looking for a 19th century double bass.
Mm-hmm. German or Italian?
How the hell would I know?
Leave it with me.
Mr. McLean's back in his room now?
Thank you, nurse. Mr. McLean, we have the results of your biopsy. There is no cancer. However, you do have TB.
TB?
Tuberculosis.
I know what it is.
It's rife in certain third world countries. Have you visited that area of the world recently?
I've got factories in Southeast Asia.
Fortunately, in your case, it's categorized as low infectivity. We'll have to get you on antibiotics for 6 months.
If I hold out that long.
Apart from your lungs, you appear to be in good health. We'll start you on the antibiotics tomorrow. Then after a couple of days, you can go home.
Doctor, if you don't mind, I'd like to inform my family about this diagnosis myself. So please, no discussion about this with my relatives.
We'll respect your privacy, naturally.
Thank you. Listen, if I'm not dying, can I get out of here this afternoon? Some sort of gate pass?
I don't see why not.
Can you be back by 4?
Thank you.
Yes, well, you are making a life-changing decision. That's not going to be easy on anyone. Actually, I was here on another matter. On Wednesday night, there's a lecture on the importance of atheism. I thought you might like to go along. Never hurts to know what the enemy's up to.
The enemy happens to be my brother, Rod Mclean.
Your brother?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, the enemy, yeah. I'll have to tell him that one.
Mr. McLean?
Yep.
Mr. Muller would like to see you.
Me?
Mr. Muller.
Thank you for dropping by. These are my sons, Anthony and Joseph. I understand you sent the priest to see me.
Well, it was just a suggestion.
I agreed to make a donation to the roofing appeal. You too?
I'm afraid not.
Come on in. Would you believe that a number of churches have refused to hold my funeral service within their hallowed walls? That's not very Christian, is it? But thanks to you, Father Joyce has agreed to hold my service at St. Luke's. Perhaps sooner than later.
You don't think your prognosis is too good?
Take a look at my lung scan. Go ahead. You see that nasty white shadow?
This here?
Yeah. I'm riddled with that stuff.
Well, you never know. Maybe your donation to the church will turn things around.
Yeah, right. I smoked 2 packs a day for 30 years.
Look, would you mind if I borrowed this? I want to show my own sons what happens to you when you smoke.
Yeah, if you want.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah.
I went to visit Pa at the hospital today.
I heard.
He wants you to go there and play for him.
Since when has he had any interest in classical music?
Well, he just asked if you'd play for him, and I said yes.
What are you doing here?
Visiting you.
Oh, yeah?
Have you been discharged?
No, they've just given me leave of absence. I'm popping into the office for a moment, just to sort out a couple of things.
Well, how are you, Dad?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. Listen, I hear you've been talking to Father Joyce.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of why I wanted to see you. I've made a decision.
Oh, yeah?
I'm leaving the law. I've enrolled in a course at theological college to enter the church.
You've what?
I didn't think you'd understand.
No, I don't. At your age, are they that desperate? And what's Margaret got to say about this?
She is having some difficulty with it.
Some difficulty. Have you told Rod?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I want to be there. Hey, listen, maybe with your new career you can put in a good word for me and have me cured.
It doesn't work that way.
No. Pity. Listen, I've got to go. Thanks for popping round. See ya.
Yeah, I'll catch you later then, Dad.
Yep.
Excuse me, please. Mr. Muller, we have the results of your biopsies. Do you want me to tell you in private? The news is not good. The biopsies confirm our worst fears that you have lung cancer. I'm sorry to tell you, it's advanced and inoperable.
Well, thanks for nothing. Are you an opera lover, Doctor?
Not really.
I was planning to travel to Germany next month for the Wagner Festival.
You may have to give your tickets away. To friends.
In my business, you don't have many friends. How long are we talking about?
Possibly 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness, Mr. McLean. Have you been discharged from hospital already?
Sort of. No, this is a social visit. But look, I'm feeling fine. I'll see you in my office in about 5 minutes.
Sure.
Right.
Good to see you.
Now, Duncan, my sons need a good boot up the bum. I'm going to give them a little test. Here, hang on to this, will you? I want to see how they respond when they discover that they may not inherit any of Daddy's money. Okay. Now get that information put onto this X-ray.
Hey, I'm just gonna be out for a while.
What have you got there?
Don't ask.
Yes, Mr. McLean. I'll be there in a minute.
Thank you.
You're okay? What was that collapse about?
Who knows? Something I ate. Bronwyn, I want to set up a charitable foundation. The McLean Foundation. A bit like the Nobel Foundation. And I want all my assets and wealth, everything, to go into it.
Everything.
The lot. Get the lawyers started on it straight away.
If that's what you really want.
Yes, it is.
Can I help you?
Yes. What am I looking at for a double bass these days?
At the bottom of the range, you're looking at about $2,000.
That's these?
That's right.
And what about the top of the range?
The absolute top?
Absolute top.
Well, unless you're very wealthy, you probably don't want to know.
Indulge me.
You're looking at about $250,000, but they rarely come on the market.
Right. And what about for a talented young man who's at the beginning of a classical career?
Probably want a good 19th century bass that'll cost you between $20,000 and $30,000.
Right.
Can I show you some?
No. Just doing some homework. Thank you.
Could you roll over, please, Mr. Muller?
He's in the loop.
Ah, Rod. Well, my results have come through. Barry, you're the doctor. Have a look at the X-ray. What's your diagnosis?
Looks like cancer.
Very good. The biopsies say the same thing. And Dr. Sanderson says it's inoperable. So it seems my time has come. And so be it. I've had a good innings. So what's next? I plan to go home tomorrow, and I intend to stay there till the end. Now, about my will. I've made a decision which may very well displease you. I've decided to give away everything I own to charity. Any comments?
It's your decision.
It's your money.
I no longer have any interest in material things.
And who do you propose to give all your money to, may I ask?
I'm setting up a charitable foundation. The McLean Foundation. Well, Alfred Nobel set up a foundation, why can't I?
Well, Alfred Nobel was a man of immense wealth.
Yes, he was.
I applaud your decision. And I will pray for you.
I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
So, how long's he got?
5, maybe 6 weeks.
What can we do?
Not much. It's going to be pretty grim towards the end. He's going to need a lot of pain relief.
I'm off home. Tell Margaret. The coffee's ready.
What's he on about? I no longer have an interest in material things. I will pray for you.
Haven't you heard the good news?
Nice suit. Nice haircut. That's a shame.
Has your father ordered this?
Not really. He's not in great shape right now. The doctors think his time is near.
His orders were to let me go.
Yes. But since then there's been a changing of the guards. I give the orders now. And as they say in the Bible, there is a time to be born and a time to die.
Your time will come.
Yeah, they all say that. Make it quick.
Where's mine?
You sure?
Thank you. I've obtained a bass for your grandson. A German instrument, made by a Herr Hoffmann in 1870.
I'm very grateful. What do I owe you?
Well, it's probably worth around 20,000. But I don't want to haggle now. Let's say $15,000. But there's one condition.
What?
I want to hear him play it.
That's fair enough. I want to hear him play too before I hand over an instrument that's cost me $15,000.
Do you know why Nobel set up his foundation? Because he had no children. Your father has 3 sons. That's where his money should go, not to some airy-fairy foundation.
It's his decision.
I don't believe this. On his deathbed, he changes his will. His 3 sons are denied their inheritance, and like 3 little lambs, they say, "Yes, Daddy."
Mom, look at the rabbit.
Didn't any of you protest?
The McLean Foundation?
That's what he calls it.
So you no longer have a job, and on his deathbed, your father decides to give everything away.
Yep. Everything.
Lovely. So what did we do to deserve all this?
So, that's the situation. Pa's not going to last much longer. And he's leaving all his money to charity.
So we get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even a lottery ticket.
Come off it. You were never really close to him anyway.
He was never close to us.
What do you think, honey?
It's his decision.
Well, we've lived without his money so far. We're not going to start grovelling now.
Should I still play for him?
Yes, of course, you must.
I've been hearing some disturbing rumours about you.
And what rumours might these be?
That you've found the Lord, or the Lord's found you.
You have your beliefs, and I have mine.
I'm flabbergasted. There is a theory that religion's a mental illness. How are you feeling?
I feel fine.
That's the exact symptom. And what'll this do for my reputation?
I will pray for it.
Oh, God, no, please, anything but that.
Can I ask a favour? My grandfather doesn't have long to live, and he asked me to come and play for him. I thought maybe a duet would be better.
Sure.
The cause of the crash. Police have announced that the body found at Blackheath at the weekend has been identified as that of Leon Dockage. Dockage, 33, had a series of convictions for drug trafficking offences, the first at age 18. Altogether, Dockage has served more than 4 years behind bars. Police regard his death as suspicious and are calling for any witnesses.
Scotty!
Grandpa, good to see you.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. All right.
It's good. This is Emma Bentley, a student at the Conservatorium.
Hi, Emma. Nice to meet you. I'm Edward Mclean, and this is my next-door neighbour, Bernard, who, unlike me, is a serious student of music.
Nice to meet you. Today we're going to be playing a double bass duet for you.
A duet?
Look, I'm sorry it's so cramped in here, but you'll be terrific.
Do the nurses know we'll be playing?
You play your little hearts out. Mr. Morton will love it, won't you, Bernard?
Too right.
The piece we're going to play today is an arrangement of Prokofiev's Lieutenant Kijé.
For Mum's sake, we can't just carry on as though nothing has happened.
What do you suggest? We shut up shop?
The business will survive.
My plans to expand the operation into the western suburbs are already in place. They can't be delayed.
No, of course not.
Bravo. Your grandfather said you were good, but he didn't do you justice.
Thank you. We're just beginners, really, though.
Beginners? Scott, your granddad wanted to do something for you to help you in your career. And he has. He felt you needed a quality base. I just happened to have one, and he bought it for you.
It's in the bathroom right now. Come on, have a look.
Oh, this thing must be over 100 years old. It's a Hoffman.
Correct. I think you'll like it.
You two did this for me?
Well, your granddad did.
Yeah? Can I speak to you a moment?
Can't it wait?
No. The latest shipment arrived this morning, a day early. They want payment tonight.
If they arrive early, that's their problem. I'll authorise payment tomorrow.
If you gave me power of attorney of the bank accounts, I could handle it.
Tomorrow. Actually, I thought you might have come here to explain what happened to Leon.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Shall I get you a nurse?
I want to hear how Scott handles the Hoffman.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome tonight's speaker, Mr. Rod McLean.
The world is a better place without God. So how do we cope if we remove religion from our lives? Without religion, we are left with the universe. And the universe is far more beautiful, more vast, more mysterious, more awe-inspiring than any god you can dream up. And the universe has the advantage of actually existing.
Are you denying God?
Who's that? It's Father O'Reilly.
Not denying God, just waiting for the evidence. There seems to be absolutely no reason to believe that there is a God there, and after thousands of years of searching, nobody has come up with a shred of evidence.
I have all the evidence I need. It's my faith.
Faith. Very convenient, faith. You don't have to answer any questions. Faith doesn't give you any answers. Faith...
That should keep them quiet. Now listen, I'm changing my will. I've decided to leave everything I own to charity.
You're joking. What about Mum?
She'll be well looked after. You two will still have the business, which brings in buckets of cash. You won't exactly starve.
Has the priest got to you?
No. The fact is, we've made a lot of money. Maybe it's time we gave something back.
Is this some sort of deathbed repentance?
Not at all. I also think you two should consider getting out of this trade.
It's what we do. If we didn't do it, someone else would.
What do you think, Joseph?
I don't particularly care for the trade.
He's always been the sensitive one. This charity thing, are you serious?
My lawyer will be here tomorrow to finalise it. Now get the nurse. I need another injection.
Joseph.
Hello, Uncle Edward. We heard you were sick, so we thought we'd come and visit you. It's Daphne, your second cousin, and this is Leslie, my daughter. We've come to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Uncle Edward. Happy birthday to you.
It's not my birthday.
Oh, isn't it?
No. It's my late wife's, Helen.
How'd I get that wrong?
I'm going to have to ask you to leave. It's time for Mr. McLean's physiotherapy.
But it's taken us an hour to drive here.
I'm afraid Sister's in charge around here. You better piss off.
I beg your pardon?
He says he needs his rest.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
I have become quite a fan of yours, Sister Morton.
We're happy to help.
Here. Buy yourself something.
I can't accept that. But you could make a donation to the hospital. That's always appreciated.
I'll just say goodbye to Bernard.
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Why not?
Mr. Muller died during the night.
Merciful Lord, in your wisdom you have called Bernard Muller from this mortal world and delivered him from the bonds of sin and welcomed him into your presence so that he may enjoy peace everlasting. Amen. If you have the need to talk, please feel free to call me.
Thanks, Duncan.
Welcome home, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong.
I understand you're not well.
Huh? Who told you that?
Your son Barry rang me last night.
I see. And did he tell you that I was dying? Well, as I was telling Duncan, Barry may have been misinformed. But that's all right. Let's keep it that way. In fact, if anybody rings, I want you to tell them that I'm feeling very poorly. Understood?
Are you asking us to lie for you, sir?
No, I wouldn't call it lying. No, just exaggerating.
Rejected the criticism. The family of
Dad,
Bernard
about
Muller
the conservatorium.
announced that he died yesterday from cancer.
Listen to this.
Mr. Muller faced court on several occasions for charges of trafficking drugs, but was never convicted.
That's Bernard Muller.
Well, you
Despite
know
these
him.
controversies, he was known
When I
to
played
be
for
a
Pa at the
generous
hospital.
benefactor to
He was
various
there.
artistic
He
and
played a
cultural
recital for
causes.
Bernard Muller.
Mr. Muller, 68, leaves
Is there a
wife
problem?
and two
Bernard
sons.
Muller was
His
the
eldest
dealer
son, Anthony,
who
said
supplied
last
your
night
brother
that his father's
Andrew
death
with his
was a painful
heroin.
blow to the family, and that he would be
Shit.
sorely missed. His funeral will take place at All Saints Church next Tuesday.
A church funeral for him?
Inflation will once again...
Good morning, Mrs. Armstrong. I was wondering how Edward was doing.
He has his good days and his bad days.
Can I see him?
Oh, right now's not a good time. He's swimming.
Swimming? But he's dying.
Well, he's in a lot of pain. The pool gives him some relief.
Well, can I see him when he's finished his swimming?
He usually has a sleep after his exercise.
Please tell him I called.
you looking for?
The foundation file.
Here.
You have a visitor, sir. Your daughter-in-law, Margaret?
Tell her to wait a minute. Okay, send her in. Margaret. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I thought I'd see how you're getting on.
Oh, I'm all right. Mrs. Armstrong's very capable.
But she's not a nurse.
No, but she's very caring, and she's very skilled.
What do you think of Nigel's decision to join the church?
Well, it's what can I say? It was a surprise, but it's up to him.
The school fees for our girls keep going up and up. And then they've got riding lessons and dance lessons and what we're supposed to live on, God only knows. You couldn't speak to him, could you? Make him see some sense.
At their age, what my boys choose to do with their lives is entirely up to them.
And being left out of your will, are you determined to punish us from the grave?
I will not discuss my will.
Your will can be challenged in court.
Try. Mrs. Armstrong, bring the oxygen cylinder.
Perhaps you should leave? We don't have an oxygen cylinder.
I know that. How did you rate my performance?
I'm a little uncomfortable with it, sir.
Oh, it'll get better.
Mr. McLean, Joseph Muller.
Of course.
Bernard's son.
Yeah. I was sorry to hear about your father.
Thank you. He was very grateful for your friendship in his last days. His funeral's next Tuesday. Would you care to join us? Let me state the obvious. My father was not on the side of the angels.
I'm aware of that. Yes, I'll come.
Thank you. Tell me, you spoke to my father the day before he died.
That's correct.
At the time, do you think the end was near?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's a great job, developing vaccines.
And they know you were disqualified?
Yes, but they don't care. It's straight research work. I'm quite excited. 70% of the people I used to see had nothing wrong with them. It's time I got out anyway.
So the deregistration was a blessing in disguise.
Well, maybe it was. Smarty pants.
Well, I have some news of my own. I've been offered a job with an insurance broker.
Not bad.
Oh, we're in here.
Is trouble?
Oh, shh.
Margaret, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Glass of wine?
No, thanks. I'll get straight to the point. Your father's will. It seems we're all to be disinherited.
So it seems.
If we mount a challenge to it in court, will you join with us?
Exactly who is we?
Barry?
I don't think so.
All right then, I won't trouble you any further.
Have you spoken to Rod and Wendy about this?
Those wankers. Get real.
Good old Margaret.
I thought you were heading off to Europe about now.
Things came up. We decided not to go. Maybe next year.
So how can I help?
Well, my father-in-law is thinking about giving away his entire fortune to charity, and that there'll be nothing left to the family. If he goes through with it, the will, can it be challenged?
Of course. A will can always be challenged. A man has a moral obligation to leave part of his estate to his children.
Oh, that's a relief.
The only difficulty that might arise is if he gives it all away before he dies.
Mr. Muller, how can I help?
My father's death. It happened sooner than I expected. I thought you said he might linger on for 6 weeks.
Yes, but at least he was spared a great deal of suffering.
It was very sudden.
These things are hard to predict.
It's no secret my father had a lot of enemies.
You're not seriously suggesting it was... He had advanced lung cancer.
Security in this hospital isn't particularly impressive. Why wasn't there a post-mortem?
I raised it with your brother, Anthony, but he declined. Excuse me.
Don't look at me like that. I'm merely drowning my sorrows for the lifestyle I shall never have. God understands. Unlike your father, the great patriarch who has left us out of his will.
Our lives will not be defined by my father's actions.
I know plenty of lawyers who'd be happy to challenge his will. Your former colleagues.
When you've had this much to drink, I can't...
Take me seriously. What is wrong with practicing law?
70% of my clients didn't need a lawyer. All they really needed was a good kick up the bum.
Edwina has just told me that your father has bought Scott a base.
Worth $20,000.
Now, first of all, he's going to give everything to charity, and now he seems to be playing one set of relatives off against the other ones. Now, I don't care whatever happens from here on in, but I will not accept anything from him. Not 1 cent.
I'm sure there's...
Your father has bought Scott a base worth $20,000.
Probably a mistake.
Sure, maybe it's only worth $19,000.
What do you want me to do exactly?
Well, you might ring up and see if it's true.
Hello?
It's me. I hear Scott's got some good news. A new base?
Yeah, that was Dad's little surprise. It certainly surprised all of us.
I hope it furthers his career.
How's the religion thing going? Has God showed up yet?
No, not yet. I'll let you know.
Olivia, did you have to tell the world?
What? About Scott's base?
Just sort of came out.
Edward.
To whom it may concern, this is to state that Mrs. Anne McLean will not seek, nor will she accept, any inheritance from the estate of Mr. Edward Mclean.
This is a surprise. Have you come for confession, or...?
I understand you'll be conducting a funeral service for Bernard Muller?
Yes. Tuesday morning, 11 a.m.
My son, Andrew, died of a heroin overdose. Muller and his mob sold him the drugs.
Christ came into this world for the sinners as well as the saints.
So a quick deathbed repentance and he gets the full church service.
You'll understand that the Muller funeral is a private matter between the Muller family and myself. Accordingly, I'm not able to discuss it with you.
Edward Mclean's office, Bronwyn speaking.
Good afternoon. I'm Mrs. Morrison from the Taxation Department. We understand that Mr. Mclean is in the process of establishing a charitable foundation in his name.
That's correct.
There are taxation implications in setting up such a foundation.
Yes, we are aware of those issues.
When is this foundation scheduled to become operative?
I'm not at liberty to discuss those issues over the phone. In the near future, that's all I can say.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
What's going on?
Roger? What's up? Margaret, what are you doing? What the hell's going on?
Good afternoon, Father Joyce.
I'm calling on behalf of the Muller family. Is it possible to put the funeral back until after lunch so that Bernard's elderly mother can attend?
Just hang on. Yes, actually 2 o'clock should be fine.
2 o'clock would be great. Thank you very much. We'll let everybody know.
Right, I'll inform the organist.
Well, actually, Anthony was wondering if the organist could still be there at 11. because he'd like to go over some of the music with her.
Yes, that should be fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello?
Could I speak to Anthony Muller, please?
Speaking.
This is Father Joyce's secretary. Father Joyce is being called away. His mother has had a stroke. He apologises, but he's arranged for another priest to take his place.
And who might that be?
Father O'Reilly. Father Patrick O'Reilly. He's very well regarded. You'll like him.
Father O'Reilly it is then.
Right.
Hello?
Hello, is that Father Joyce?
Yes?
I'm calling from the bishop's office. The bishop would like you to meet with him tomorrow at 11. It's rather urgent.
Oh, what's it about?
One of the young priests is having a crisis of faith. The bishop feels that you may be able to help him.
Oh, well, that's always said. I'll be there.
Thank you very much. 11 o'clock.
Right, thank you. We'll sort him out.
Piece of cake.
See? There it is.
Yes. I believe this is yours. Curious how it ended up in the swimming pool.
Well, he suddenly went berserk at my daughter-in-law. My worry is that next time it might be one of the grandchildren. The very last thing in the world I want is to have him.
You are not putting that dog down.
Mrs. Armstrong?
There's nothing wrong with him.
Well, surely that's up to the vet to decide.
Well, Ed, I agree with Mrs. Armstrong. As far as I can see, there's nothing wrong with Roger. You can relax, he's fine.
Thanks very much, Jeff.
My pleasure.
How did you know that he was all right?
Female intuition.
What do you mean?
I'll explain it to you someday.
Come on, Duncan, let's go. I'm running late for a funeral. I've got to get changed.
Here's the priest costume.
I've got a short service, maybe 15 minutes, so wait for me, and when I'm done, we go straight to the airport.
You won't disappear on me?
I will pay. Have faith.
Avoid from now on. Look, a lot of people are going to be watching us to see that we performed out the old man's gone. Any funny business, we meet fire with fire.
Yeah. When in doubt, take them out.
What's that supposed to mean?
Leon was supposed to be let go. Funny that he ended up dead.
Well, he must have fallen in with the wrong crowd, mustn't he? Father O'Reilly. Anthony Muller.
Ah, Mr. Muller.
Thanks for taking over at such short notice. This is my mother, Dolores.
It's a dreadful, dreadful thing to lose a loved one. Are we all here? Perhaps we could move inside and take our seats.
I'll just see what he wants. Scotty!
Hey, Pa. How you going?
I'm all right. Running a bit late for a funeral. What can I do for you?
This bass is an amazing instrument.
But?
I'm returning it to you.
Why?
I can't accept it. This is from Bernard Muller, right?
That's right. In fact, that's whose funeral we're going to.
You're off to his funeral?
Yes, I am.
Do you know who that guy was?
I'm aware of his reputation. He was a criminal.
The heroine that killed my brother Andrew, your grandson. Who do you think supplied it?
Are you sure?
Positive.
Why didn't someone tell me?
You're the great zillionaire, Pa. Everyone's too scared to tell you anything.
Scotty, I was just trying to help you.
You can go to his funeral on one condition. You throw rotten eggs.
You're coming with me. Close the van. Come on. Let's go. We'll think of something.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We're here today to celebrate the life of Bernard Muller. And especially today we welcome Bernard's wife, Dolores, his sons, Anthony and Joseph, and their wives, Christine and Angela, all the extended family and friends. Bernard Muller was a loving husband, a devoted father, and a pillar of the parish. However, these days, when someone is successful in business, they always have their critics. And Bernard's critics, well, you know what they say. They say that he ran the drug trade in the city. And unfortunately, it seems to be true. Should someone who is involved in violence, crime, standover tactics, arson, bashings, thuggery, receive a church funeral? Where is the repentance here? A good question. To put it bluntly, will Bernard burn in hell? My response is, why shouldn't he? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Excuse me, just one moment, please.
Hey, hold it right there! Go, 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 go! Get it! Go on!
Good morning. I'm here for my 11 o'clock appointment with the bishop.
The bishop's about to leave for a meeting with the mayor.
I was called and told to be here at 11.
Not by me.
Seems we have a breakdown in communication here. Come over here. I sense that under pressure, you get easily stressed. Perhaps you should take the week off?
No, I'm fine. Excuse me. Hello? You need to get back now. It's chaos. What?
That was an interesting eulogy you gave. Honour thy father and thy mother. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. However, the Bible doesn't tell us what we should do when one's father isn't exactly honourable.
Yes, it's a dilemma.
I think you should go back in there and lie low for a while.
Thank you.
What took you so long? I was getting worried.
It's a long story.
Ah, shit. Change of plan, mate. Can you take us to All Saints Church?
What's going on?
How's your mother, father?
My mother? She's fine.
What's your game? First you take money from us for your wretched church, then you humiliate us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Father O'Reilly is very well regarded. You like him? Where is the fucker?
Hey, show some respect.
Hey, Nigel.
Rod. You!
God help me. God helps those who help themselves. What are you two doing here?
What are you doing here, more to the point?
Yeah, I need an ambulance at All Saints Church.
Give me that. I'll look after this. The two of you, get out of here.
We can't just leave you here.
I'm an old man dying of cancer. What can they do to me? Now get out of here, both of you.
What's going on here?
Ah, officer. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
The police say you assaulted Anthony Muller with a crucifix.
How is he?
He'll live. Severe concussion. You can thank your lucky stars you didn't kill him. Fortunately for you, the police discovered he was carrying a knife.
Apparently, he was attacking a priest.
The mysterious priest, who has since disappeared off the face of the earth.
So what happens now?
Let's get you out of here. Hang on a minute.
What?
Take a deep breath, in and out. Again. You haven't got lung cancer. This is bullshit. Wait, that lung scan, whose was it?
He's fixed bail for you, sir. You're free to go.
Thanks very much.
Officer, could you just give us a couple of minutes?
Tana. You're right, Barry. I do have a little bit of explaining to do.
What's wrong? Haven't you bailed him out yet?
Yes.
Well, let's go. Now, listen, I'm still going ahead with the foundation. What it'll do is provide musical instruments to talented students who can't afford them. But rest assured, there will be something left over for my kith and kin. So I'm sorry to have played such a dirty trick on you. And I was really impressed with the fact that you guys did not kick up a stink when I said I was going to give everything away.
As I said before, I no longer have any
interesting material
Shut up.
Oh, thanks, Rod.
The breakdown in talks commentators say an early election before the end of the year is now probable. There's been a breakthrough into the investigation of the death of alleged gangland figure Leon Dockich. Police this afternoon have charged Henri Muller with murder.
I don't know, it was him.
Mr. Muller is currently in hospital recovering from injuries suffered at his father's funeral.
Bronwyn, thought you'd have been halfway home by now.
Don't you want this? I thought you might have needed it for the weekend.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. See you Monday.
Anything interesting in there?
It's worse than I thought. You're not going to work today. Yes. It's the Sabbath. I'll have to kill you.
Really, Dad?
Look at numbers. Chapter 15, verses 32 to 36. Check it out.
Give it a rest.
Duncan, I'll take him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's the least I can do. I owe him. Come on, boy, us old farts need the exercise.
Watching the white caps on a brown and muddy sea, like a Lamington. She's a coward in a hesitant way, while my machines carry on with days to yours unsupervised. Below the detention zone, what's going on in that man's head? There's only dreams left for some of you. I could have been you. You could have never seen the day like I did. What's in the white caps on a brown and muddy sea, like a Lamington? She saw Karu in a hesitant way, while my machines carry on with the day's chores unsupervised. Below the detention zone, what's going on?